All right. All right, come back to the confusion that I makes you guys. So if you want to find if there's a payment that is paid today, then this is you're gonna put in as a future value. IY gonna be 2, but then the number of periods is actually just 1, right? Why? Why is it 1 and not 4 like I mentioned before? Um, okay, so you guys know that quarterly. So in a year, when we try to find the payment, right? This payment of 5113.27 is quarterly. So this is 5113, this is 5113, this is 5111, 24 times in a year. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So each of these is 5113, right? So if you take a look, then that is actually just one period. Um, that is actually just one period of the end, right? Okay. Hey, hello. So actually, I make a mistakes, and it is instead of 4 period, it is 1 period. So you're gonna put 1 for the end. The reason is because you know that the 5113 payment is quarterly already, right? Um, and since it's quarterly already, then you're gonna just you know that there's just gonna be 1 period to discount it times 0 because the payment is already quarterly. Does it make sense or what do you
So
think?
it's just like one payment?
It should be 1 payment, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
However, this problem, it would be tragic if it was on the test. I don't see that it will be this hard. Um, but just good to point that out. All
Mm-hmm.
right, before let's just look at this problem 8 right here. All right, you plan to retire in 40 years and want to have uh 60 each year during 30 years of retirement. Um, how much must she save each year if her account is expected to earn 8% per year? All right, so it is when you come to this problem, you want to divide it into two part, right? Like before, where I said I tell you guys this problem up here, you do it the two process. It's the same with this one. Uh, after 40 years, she want to spend 60,000. She want to have 60,000 each year after 40 year, right? Um, the only trick part about this one is okay. So 40 years, year 40, it's actually year 41 that she begins to receive her 60,000 for how many years? For 30 years, right? For the whole 30 years. That is to the year 70. If you guys kind of remember up here, we have to, even though it say that begin at year 3, right? However, in this problem, the payment is you have to know that it's begin in year 41, right? It doesn't say it begin at for year 40. Uh, something to keep in mind. However, you should be able to know how to discount these payment back to the present value, right? That's the first part process. And then after that, after you get the dollar, you have to discount that dollar 40 years back to the present value. So this is the present value when you try to find uh when let's say you put the payment as a 60,000, right? For how many years? 7 uh 7 minus 40 right here, say 30 years of her receiving 60,000, right? So gotta be 30 years. And then you're gonna put the interest in, right? And then you're gonna hit compute present value. That is the present value right here. However, if you want to find the final present value, this in the second part of the of when you're solving it, you change that into future value. This present value of part one will become a future value of part two, and then you try to find present value of it. Okay, so how do you look at this solution right here? All right, like I said, 30 years, right? Put in the interest, the payment, compute. All right, this is the value at year what? At year 40, right? And then this is the second part, 40 year, 8 for the interest. You see, the future value, the present value of the first process is the future value of the second process, right? And then you're gonna hit, all right. My apologize. The problem is asking us to find the payment because it's asked how much she have to save each year if her account is expected to earn that. So they're not trying to find present value. However, it shouldn't be difficult. Instead of hitting compute present value, you hitting compute PMT. All right. So far I show you guys how you guys should go through the solution sheet and then try to like remember the wording of the problem and then try to understand like what it try to tell you, like what the number is trying to tell you, right? So hopefully you pick up some pattern. All right. This question right here, whenever you see the growth rate, what was the growth rate? It's asking for like the percentage change, right? Okay, so the profit grew from this to this. So instead of remembering this equation right here, something I would do is you will take the final number minus the initial number divided by the initial number. That is the equation for you to find the percentage change, right? 91.50 divided by 150. So, but what is it? What was the growth rate over the next 5 year? Okay, okay, I make a mistake here as well, guys. This one is actually asking for the is asking for the interest rate. It's asking for the IY. My apologize. Growth rate is asking for the IY. It's not asking for the return. It's not talking about the stock return or something like that. So scratch on that. So something that you would do is, so how do I know that on the test, right? If you do on the test, you do my stuff and you don't get the answer, then more than likely you have to input in your the 5 white keys on your keyboard on your calculator, right? So 1.5 for the present value, future value as let's try to put together 1.5 present value 2.26. Remember to do one a negative number. Negative 2.26 going to be future value. How many years? 5 years. Compute interest rate. All right. And now you got 8.54. Okay, so probably that how, if you're not sure if which one to use, just do both and either one you get. All right. This one. You guys see 6% compounded quarterly. So this one is talking about the one from before. The very first equation we work together here, right? APR divided by something like that. Let's see, 6% compounded quarterly. Much will have in 3 years if she deposit in her. Okay. So you're gonna put 6% as the I, the M gonna be what? Quarterly, right? So 4 also up here. However, what is this N over here? This N is the year. It's a 3 year, right? So that's how you got 12 over here. Quarterly is 4 multiplied with 3 years. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. That's how you got it. Let's see. You to maturity. All right, I think this one about the coupon bond. All right. So how do you know which one is talking about the bond, right? So usually the bond, usually you will see the $1,000. Whenever it has $1,000 in there, that's how you identify if this is talking about the bond type problem. You guys see that pay semi-annually, right? This is the coupon rate. So in a year, 6% of 1,000 is $60. Semi-annually mean you take a $60 divide by 2. So every 6 months, you receive how much? 60 divided by 2 is $30. $30 every. All right, you guys see down here, the PMT, they put 30, right? Makes sense? Right here, how many years? 25 years, right? However, semi-annually, so you have to multiply by 2. So you receive 50 payments of this 30. You're gonna 50 period of receiving this $30 payments. So some of the question like this, like really try to sit in and see how, why, where did it multiply by 2, where it divide by 2, why is this divide by 2 to get into 30, right? All right. When this problem asking for the U to maturity. What is the U to maturity? Do you see at the end, the U to maturity is 2, right? Let me see. Okay, 1 second. Let me try to calculate this. 50 for the N, 1314.23 for negative. Present value, 30 payment. 1,000 for future value and hit compute IY. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. 50 for the N. 50 for the N. 1314.23 for what? Future present value. 1,000 for future value. 30 for payment. Compute IY. Okay. If you compute IY, you're gonna get 2. Right? However, do you guys remember that? You guys remember that it's a semi-annually, right? So this 2 mean that 2% for 6 months. The answer want you to convert it into a year, into annually. So you're gonna have to multiply by 2 to get into 4%. So you see how it could be very tricky. It's easy when it's annually, right? However, when it starts to say annually, quarterly, that's when you have to sit down and then practice this problem again 1, 2, 3 times before the test to be very confident. All right, so let me 1 second. And that should cover exam 1. I think some other thing might happen is let Let me see. Something other than that she might ask is she asking you for the return on investment. Let's say that the stock is going up from 150 to 170 and then give you a dividend of like $2 in between. Then you know that you have to take 170 minus 150 plus the dividend divided by previous the initial value, right? This will be the return on investment. Okay, so that should cover exam 1. To next video, I will cover exam 2 and exam 3.